Good morning, everyone out there in Radio Land, and welcome to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, the voice of Montclair State, broadcasting to you live from the beautiful School of Communication and Media here at Montclair State University. This is the Morning Buzz, the Monday edition. I'm Louis Biontalillo, joined always by the amazing co-host, the man with the smile. Look at him. There he is. There's Kyle Pepitone. How you doing today?
Honestly, nowadays, every day except Friday is just a waiting period to the new episode of WandaVision.
A waiting period for WandaVision on Disney Plus, right?
Yep.
You've been enjoying it, huh?
Oh, it's so good, but the episodes aren't long enough.
I see the problem. I do understand the problem because it's probably like a full. I haven't seen it, but it's probably like watching a movie, but only 45 minutes of a movie.
Not even. They're like 30 minutes at least, or at most.
Really?
Yeah, and they don't do like what Netflix does, where they put them all out at once. They're doing week by week. It's painful.
I'm sure it is. It's a very strong, very smart business strategy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it's painful.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the show. But anyway, let's get started with a little bit of news. Patrina, would you take us away with the newscast?
All right, thank you, Louis. All right, so in the local news today, according to NJ.com, the National Weather Service issued a ice storm warning for Morris, Sussex, Warner, Somerset, and Hunterdon County, which is supposed to start around 6 p.m. today and continue on till tomorrow, around 10 a.m. So apparently some parts of the eastern Pennsylvania have got this warning as well. And to anybody who will be on the road during these locations, please stay safe and drive carefully. In local news, according to NJ.com, Jersey Shore star Nicole Polizzi, mostly known by the name Snooki, spent her Valentine's Day in quarantine after finding out she tested positive for COVID. Apparently, Snooki's symptoms started out as just a bad sinus cold with a headache and a stuffy nose, and that's what made her go get tested. As of yesterday morning, Snooki said she woke up and she didn't even taste a thing or smell anything as well. As always, make sure you get tested regularly for COVID-19, take all precautions, and if you're feeling any symptoms, make sure you stay at home. In national news, according to USA Today, 200 million more vaccine doses are on the way, announced by Joe Biden. Joe Biden promised that by the first 100 days of his presidency, that he will administer 100 million vaccine doses. Biden just announced that the 100 million other doses that were supposed to arrive of June of 2021 will now arrive in May of 2021. Before Biden took place, the vaccine supplies was way lower than we even believe. So thankfully, Biden has purchased enough vaccine for all Americans. And more about the vaccine. In national news, according to Nine News, Australia has just got their first shipment of the coronavirus vaccines. Currently in Australia, there are 142,000 doses in their land. Approximately 60,000 doses of the COVID vaccine will be given by the end of February. And the first Australian citizens to receive the vaccine will be elderly and disability care residents, carers and workers, frontline healthcare workers, and border force workers. So on to the weather for today. Today in Montclair, we have a high of 30 degrees and a low of 28 degrees, expecting some icy rain, so make sure you're careful on those roads again. So this concludes your news update for February 15th. For WMSC, I'm Patrina Geiger.
Awesome. Thank you, Patrina. Now, Matt, why don't you take it away with the 2-minute warning?
You got it. The Montclair women's basketball team swept the 2 games against Keene University this past weekend, and the men's team split, so a solid weekend overall for basketball. As spring is continuing, we are seeing more and more of college sports starting to kick off, so stay tuned for more updates from other sports outside of the basketball teams. In the MLB, the Hall of Fame induction this year will look a little different. First of all, there's no inductees, and second of all, the ceremony is moved inside. After a crowd of 55,000 in 2019, the ceremony being called off last year, there are still a lot of uncertainties on what's going to happen. Former football quarterback Tim Tebow has been brought back onto the Mets roster for the spring training. In the NBA on Saturday, both the Nets and the Knicks won on Saturday. the Knicks against the Rockets, and the Nets against the Warriors. Tonight, the Nets will look to continue their win streak against the Sacramento Kings, and the Knicks will look to take down the Atlanta Hawks. Kevin Durant, one of the big three for the Nets, will miss at least the next 2 games due to a hamstring injury, kind of a huge injury. And the Knicks center, Mitchell Robinson, is out 4 to 6 weeks with a hand injury. The All-Star game is a go for the NBA. And as of right now, LeBron James and Kevin Durant lead All-Star fan voting. And if you did not know, the NBA All-Star teams are determined by the 2 leaders in votes from each conference. Once voting ends, then the 2 leaders will meet and draft from a pool of the other players that are picked to go into the All-Star game. In the NHL, we will see a New Jersey Devils against New York Rangers matchup tomorrow, which will be sure to be an exciting one. And today in sports history in 1996, the Cleveland Browns fired Bill Belichick after a record of 36-44. As we know, Bill goes on to take a job with the Patriots that to this day has 6 championships, which is the most of any head coach of all time. I'll have to send it back to you guys now.
So there was a lot that we just heard there for a second from both our newscast and our sportscast. And I have a question for each of you. So my first question is for you, Matt. You're telling me there's going to be there's going to be a Hall of Fame event the whole event is to bring new inductees into the Hall of Fame, and yet there's no inductees to bring into the Hall of Fame?
That is correct.
So what do?
They have several other awards that are outside of baseball that are given to people that have been in the MLB.
Okay.
I think it was like 5 awards.
Oh, good.
It's going to be a pretty small ceremony. I know they're also planning on doing like a online video for some of the past inductees, like Derek Jeter. He was supposed to be inducted in last year, and they never got to have the ceremony. So I think they'll do something for him and a couple other guys.
Fantastic. Thanks, Matt. And Patrina, 2 questions for you, actually. First, one serious, one not so serious. First serious question. Australia is just getting their first batch of COVID vaccines.
Yeah, they just got their shipment.
Wow. It makes you think and wonder, because I thought just that every country had a limited dosage of vaccines, but you see, I was wrong there. And second question, I'm sure the people want to hear about this more. You're telling me Snooki has COVID?
Oh yeah, she posted on Instagram. I think it was yesterday morning. She talked about all the symptoms that she had, and yesterday she was talking about how she had a slice of pizza and she was like, I couldn't even taste a thing. So that was
fascinating.
That's a bit of a situation.
Yeah, that's a big situation.
Well, my prayers for Snooki. I do think it's interesting though. But anyway, going on to our first story of the day, with Trump acquitted and looking to reassert himself. This is from AP News. Donald Trump was acquitted Friday from his second impeachment to hoots and cheers from his base in Mar-a-Lago, Florida. One lawyer joked that they were, quote, going to Disney World, end quote. Trump had dinner on a patio packed with his biggest supporters in politics. One member described the party atmosphere as something he had not felt within the Trump inner circle since the election. 7 Republican senators voted for his removal, which is the most senators from the same party as the president to vote this way in impeachment history. Experts predict that Trump will begin to give interviews after weeks of radio silence since Joe Biden took office, with Mitch McConnell saying he didn't get away with anything yet, saying we have a criminal justice system in this country, we have civil litigation, and former presidents are not immune from being accountable by either one. He also went on to say that there's no question, none, that President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day, which is the same stance he had since the insurrection of the Capitol. After being acquitted in his second impeachment trial, Donald Trump prepares for the next phase of his post-presidency life and plans to reassert himself among the GOP. One thing is he plans to address the division of the Republican Party, which had those 7 senators vote against him, probably to try to make amends. Senator Lindsey Graham, who spoke with Trump on Saturday, said he is, quote, ready to rebuild the Republican Party and reportedly excited about 2022. However, it's unclear if Trump will be able to run again in 2024 in the wake of other party candidates looking to fill that role. So Donald Trump is not in office anymore. However, he will never leave our news Kyle, do you agree with that statement? I don't think he's ever leaving.
Honestly, within this news, definitely not. I thought maybe like once Biden took office, the hatred or like disliking of him would kind of die out a bit, that he wasn't in power anymore. But now that he is still able to hold office in the future, I think we're going to be hearing a lot more about him and from him in the coming months.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's interesting that he's went through literally a second impeachment trial and he's unscathed.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, whatever your politics are, you have to say his lawyers are quite impressive. Because there was a lot of charges, and having that many members of your own party vote against you,
Yeah.
it's quite shocking. I saw something that on social media that said more people voted voted against Donald Trump than for Donald Trump, and yet he still won. And if that's not the most American thing I've ever heard, I don't know what is. That's something I saw on social media. I'm not quite sure if I agree with it, but it is interesting to note because you need that supermajority in the Senate.
Right. And the Senate isn't 50-50, right? It's between the parties. Like it can go like 43, whatever it is.
It definitely can, but right now it is actually 50-50.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't happen often. So if there's ever a split vote, what happens is the vice president, who obviously we know is Kamala Harris,
right?
Obviously a Democrat, splits that tie. However, they needed that supermajority this time, and
Right.
it wasn't there, even with those 7 Republicans joining the Democrats on that vote.
Wow.
So one thing that I thought was interesting, I thought it was a funny laugh that one of the lawyers said that they were going to Disney World. Obviously, that's a nod to the Super Bowl. It sounds like Tom Brady and Donald Trump should be friends because they keep winning these court cases, these battles, respectively. So I'm sure they're very happy. Technically, he needed 10 more Republicans to be found guilty at all.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, and you'd be hard pressed in any time to get 17 of the opposing party to vote with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And to go back about Tom Brady for a second, they actually are friends. They have spoken with each other on the phone. They've met each other in person, Tom Brady and Donald Trump. So there is that connection there anyway. So I guess I was right about them being friends because they are. But I'm not surprised. It makes sense though. One thing that I thought was interesting was the part that it said Trump had dinner on a patio packed with his biggest supporters in politics. And that word packed is a direct quote from the article.
Right.
And we all know that Donald Trump does not take the virus as serious as some other politicians, as many other politicians. And especially now that he's in Florida. In Florida, they don't really worry about the virus as much either.
Right. A lot of things are open there now, right?
Pretty much everything is open there. And I would also say that almost everything is open in New Jersey over here. But the thing is, the difference is that capacity limit.
Right.
We've seen here in Jersey, we all got excited. Well, I don't know if you got excited, but there was a lot of hype when Governor Murphy made the indoor dining from 25 to 35%. Over there, they're like, yeah, do whatever you want. Just go have fun.
I mean, have you been outside lately? He almost had to make it a higher percentage.
Yeah, it's freezing, right?
It's freezing. It's so bad.
Yeah, and I've still seen a lot of restaurants still have those tents. But anyway, we know that they don't have mask mandates in Florida. And as this was at his, I'm sure, private place,
right,
they wouldn't have needed masks either way. And over there, there's really no huge gathering limit. Like over here, right. I think it's 175 is the gathering limit indoors, which is a lot of people, but that includes things like churches. That includes things like, there's only a certain few things. But in Florida, much different. So in my opinion, it makes sense that Trump, after New Yorkers didn't want him here anymore, it made sense that he went down to Florida. I feel like he fits in with that ideology.
Yeah, I can see that.
He has that. You always hear about the Florida man news stories. Now the Florida man is Donald Trump. We're going to start hearing Florida man has orange hair. And it's going to be, oh, is that former President Donald Trump? So, like Mitch McConnell said, this is not over quite yet.
Right.
It is over in the Senate. There's nothing that's going to probably happen in the Senate. Most experts would probably agree with that. However, there are a lot of court cases still to be had in actual court. So we'll see what happens. We just know that technically Trump has not been, quote, removed, even though he's out already from office.
Right. Which I heard, which is also why some of the Republicans voted in favor of Trump. They said it makes no sense to impeach somebody who's currently now out of office.
Right. Mitch McConnell definitely said that. He said, while I do not support the president, I believe that he is wrong, especially for January 6th and everything that happened at the Capitol. He voted with Donald Trump because in his eyes, it's unconstitutional to remove a sitting president that's no longer a sitting president.
Right.
Because I don't think it's happened before.
No, because there haven't been it's only been other than Donald Trump, the only other president. No, that's not right. But there haven't been a lot of impeachments in American history to warrant the time period of it being in their last term, let alone their last month.
Yeah, they're really.
Impeachments.
Yeah, there's been a few impeachments besides Donald Trump. There's been two. We got Andrew Johnson in 1868, and so obviously that was a while back. And also Bill Clinton for his famous lines there. The thing that he's remembered by most. But none have been removed. And Donald Trump is the first president that has been impeached twice. So I think it definitely goes hand in hand with public opinion here. I think a lot of Congress people didn't want to do anything at first, and then about a year and a half ago, we saw that first impeachment when public opinion for Trump was very, very low. And then obviously after the insurrection of the Capitol, his approval rating dropped significantly from its already low point. And there you go, you have that second impeachment. But again, impeachment doesn't mean removal, and because he's no longer in office, even if they were to, quote, remove him, all that would do is make it illegal for him to run for president again.
Right.
So we will see what happens in actual courts. A lot of people a lot of people against Trump are holding out for the hope that he actually does go to jail. I'm not holding my breath for that one. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm also not an expert. We'll see.
Right.
That's my favorite line. After every story, I say, we'll see. Kyle, you want to bring us to our next story of the day on the Morning Buzz?
Sure thing. Some good news. The average U.S. Coronavirus cases has been below 100,000 for the first time in months. This is coming also from AP News that says while the this COVID virus still remains highly infectious, the United States average of new cases has dropped below 100,000 for the first time since November 4th. According to the Johns Hopkins University, who has been collecting this information, on Friday, the United States coronavirus cases dropped below 100,000. Although in December, much of it was around 200,000 cases and went up to roughly 250,000 cases in January. So we're at a pretty good low right now. And Dr. Rochelle Walensky, director of the CDC, said, quote, "It is encouraging to see these trends coming down, but they're coming down from an extraordinarily high place." And end quote first. And then I also remember a few weeks ago, we talked about how the United States was still the highest country in cases and for the coronavirus. And with that being said, the U.S. has had a total of 27.5 million cases over the course of this entire pandemic. So roughly a year at this point, we've had 27 million cases in total. And the CDC has recently put out guidelines outlining safety precautions to keep people safe and for the hope of sending children back to school.
That's a big number. I'm just putting it out there. That number of how many cases we've had since the beginning of the pandemic here in the U.S. That's a significantly large number.
Right.
And it is unfortunate. I don't know I don't know who would have been the right person to lead through this pandemic. However, I just know whatever we did didn't work. And obviously hindsight, and I'll make a pun here, hindsight is 2020. Which is true at this point. You look back, it was never
Very true.
I'm not saying I would have been able to do a better job than our governor, our president, our any elected official. However, I know for a fact that what we did was not the way.
Right.
Listen, I'm a Star Wars guy. This was not the way. There's other countries that it was the way, and we are not.
Yeah.
But if you look closer, and this goes along with the same trend, if you look closer and you zoom in on New Jersey a little bit, Kyle, right? We, as of yesterday, Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day, Kyle, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So as of yesterday, we had 2,168 new cases in the Garden State of COVID-19. And that is a significant amount. It is still down from our total record, or from our total daily record of 5,646. So roughly down 3,000 cases. And that was January 10th. So about a month later, I would say that's a significant improvement. I'm happy with how we're doing in the Garden State. Obviously, we can do better.
Yeah. I think a lot of places can still do better, but with the vaccine rolling out, I think we're getting to a better place. Because since 3 months, we've had our lowest daily cases as a country, which I think is pretty good considering in January, it was even higher than it was in December. So the trend looked like it went up, and then come this month, went down a significant amount for a total country.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's another piece of good news. Yesterday, okay, well, it starts off as bad news, so don't twist my words here. Yesterday, there were 14 deaths in the Garden State, which is obviously the bad news. However, that's the lowest death count per day in New Jersey since November 29th, before we hit that huge holiday wave, as I've been calling it.
Yeah.
Before that, in the fall, we were significantly getting deaths in the teens. But if you look in the past month, it wasn't uncommon to see 100, 150, even 200 deaths in one day. And our record, if you would like to know, it's sad. Our record was 458 deaths in one day. And again, that's when it's reported. That was from April 30th, when the pandemic first started.
Right.
So we're doing significantly better than that. But obviously, it's still important to wear your mask. It's still important to social distance. And it's still important, a lot of scientists say, to go get that vaccine if you can. If you can get that vaccine, if it's available to you. I know that there's not a cost here in the Garden State. That's a government problem, I guess. But health officials are still obviously warning us to do all of that.
Right. Especially if we want to, get back in person for not just us as a university, but like schools in total.
Schools in total, life in total.
That too.
Yeah. I really would love to go to a concert this fall.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
guess.
hoping.
What'd you say, Patrina?
I said that's what I'm hoping.
All right, just
Oh my God.
little side conversation really fast. Patrina, if you have 5 seconds to answer, you have one concert to go to, front row tickets, no cost to you, nothing. Who are you seeing?
I want to say Halsey. I've been wanting to see her for a long time, and I was supposed to see her in the summer, but then the pandemic. So that was really sad for me.
Fingers crossed that happens to you by this fall. But in order to do that, we have to get this virus under control. And if we look even smaller than New Jersey, it's like we're going with a microscope here. And we're looking on Montclair's campus. Last week, with the week ending February 11th, so ending last Thursday, there were 7 reported cases of COVID on campus. And that's 5 students and 2 employees. And that's directly from the Montclair State Red Hawk Restart COVID dashboard. So they got a bunch of fancy names on their website. But anyway, one thing that I do find interesting that I'm not so big of a fan with Montclair about, they took off all of the numbers from the fall semester. And I want to know who gave them permission to do that.
Wow.
Because now all I can tell you is from memory. I can't give you exact numbers.
Right.
All I know is this was the average amount of cases we had per week. Our producer's saying no, they didn't. If you could supply us a link with that, because I am on the dashboard right now and I'm not seeing any of that. However, they do have more information, the status of cases. Our producer said she saw it 2 days ago. I also saw it 2 days ago. It's no longer there. The status of cases right now, there's 5 students currently in isolation and recovering. And then already for the semester, there's been 8 individuals who have recovered and are cleared to return to campus. So we shall see if that number continues to increase or if it stays low. As I always say, we'll see.
Yes.
I don't know. Everything, I feel like all of these news stories nowadays, it's never like a movie. You know what? It's like WandaVision, Kyle. It's like WandaVision. Every week we're waiting till Friday. We're waiting until Friday to find out the newest numbers for Montclair State's COVID numbers. And yours might be more fun. But I guess I get just as excited over this dashboard.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of news nowadays is really more speculation. Like, this is where it is now. We have no idea where it's going to be in the future. We're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's exactly how it feels. And I felt that way for about 11 months to the day now. Wow. Hold on. I just like to put a second out there. It's been 11 months to the day. We've made it to month 12, ladies and gentlemen. We've made it to month 12. Can we have a congratulations applause? Very nice job. I never thought we would be here, Kyle. I really never thought we would. I want to see your beautiful face in person, Kyle.
Thank you. Me too.
I want to see you right next to me in this studio. And what that means, that just means we got to continue being safe. That's all we got at this point. We know it works. We can even start double masking now if we would like to do that. The FCC and Dr. Fauci said that double masking helps reduce the spread of the virus and helps protect yourself. Apparently, it does more to help yourself than help others, but that's good for you. That means if you want to feel safe, you can also feel even safer. I've done the double mask a few times when I went grocery shopping, but right now I'm only wearing the single mask because I'm in a room by myself.
Yeah.
But Montclair and the CDC, equivalent things, say that it is much safer to wear that second mask as well.
Interesting.
I have been seeing. Have you seen anybody with the double mask? I've seen quite a few individuals here on campus.
I have not. First off, it's not really something I look to see.
That's fair.
I actually haven't seen that. And this is kind of like the first time I'm hearing about it, like, in detail. Like, I heard it in passing mentioned like a week ago, but I didn't know like it was a thing.
I've been seeing a lot more people these days doing double masking rather than like when we first started. But it seemed to like more people start wearing 2 masks instead of 1.
Listen, and I'm all for people being more safe if they would like. I got no issue with it whatsoever. So that's all I got on it for now. Listen, if people don't mind wearing that second mask, I don't see any harm in that. So to each their own. To each their own, as they say. Whatever. What's the word? Whatever floats your boat. There you go.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat with that mask. All right, we'll move on to our third story here, and I believe this is yours as well. I don't want to touch it.
Yeah. All right. So, bit of a warning, as we mentioned before, but the NJ Weather Service has put northern Jersey under significant ice storm watch that could potentially hit Monday evening, so tonight, and into Tuesday morning. So the National Weather Service has parts of northern Jersey under ice storm warning at least until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. The warning applies to Morris, Sussex, Warren, Somerset, and Hunterdon counties from 6 p.m. tonight to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Freezing rain is expected and a lot of icing is possible, as well as power outages and dangerous road conditions. South and Central Jersey, which does indeed exist, are also under winter weather watch and can expect freezing rain and icing, just not as severe as in Northern Jersey.
You really slid that in there and thought nobody would notice. My man said in Central and South, which by the way does exist. Listen, amazing. I live in Central Jersey, so props to you.
Thank you.
Anyway, thanks for giving us that. I'm done. I'm done with the ice.
Oh, yeah. No, this is horrible. At least it could, if it snowed, it could have been on Christmas and would have been nice, but this is just like through February. It's winter's over now. Let's get into spring, please.
You want to know what, though? It is a good way to keep people inside, like,
True.
to be safe. But you want to know what? I am done with the ice and the snow.
So I thought that too, Patrina, but then I actually heard a report that because it's so cold, people are actually gathering more indoors. And that's even more dangerous than gathering outdoors, and therefore you would think that it would keep people inside.
Yeah, because you would think people want to stay off the roads when it's icy and very dangerous, but people...
I did hear a health official say that because it was so icy and snowy here on Super Bowl Sunday, that it did prevent a lot of Super Bowl gatherings. So in that sense, I guess, yeah. But in the overwhelming majority of days when it's just freezing cold,
right,
people are just gathering inside. But anyway, I've built my snowman. I've gone sledding. I'm done. I've done the winter activities.
Yeah.
So I went to the store the other day. I saw bathing suits. And I got very excited.
For what?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you go sledding in the ice, but I saw bathing suits and I was like, Summer, is that you? And it was a nice feeling. Listen, think about where we are. And I know we always think this way. Like right now, this middle of February seems like this grueling, disgusting month of terribleness. 3 months from now, it's going to be almost Memorial Day. Like only 3 months from now. So we got this. We're going to get through the rest of this icky, disgusting weather. We're going to get through, hopefully, another March, but this March won't be as bad. Then we got some April showers. We got the Mayflowers, and then the semester's over, and then we got beautiful weather. And that's the way I keep thinking. I just think month by month. February's terrible, but then March is crazy. April showers, May is flowers, and June is happiness.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around how it's mid-February already.
Yeah, me too. I feel like I just saw the ball drop with Ryan Seacrest. I feel like I just watched that entire program. Like this year is going by a lot faster than 2020 did.
And I think a main reason of that is because we started the semester so late. So it's just been weeks of no responsibilities.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is week 2. So congratulations to everyone in this chat and anybody listening that's a student. You made it through week 1, our 3rd semester of online classes. This is so exciting. Hopefully, I can say this with significant confidence. Again, I'm not an expert here. This is just me. 3rd and final semester of fully remote classes. That's what I'm putting there.
I mean, a lot of classes have the option to be on campus, some are mixed.
Yes. So that is true. And there are more of those this semester. However, there's a lot of what they're calling Hawk mix classes, where the professor gets to choose, okay, sometimes we'll go in person.
Oh, interesting.
Sometimes we'll stay online, but they get to choose what that ratio is. And a lot of professors right now are making that option for safety reasons to keep it online. But I'm hoping that we'll have as close to a normal semester as we humanly possibly can in the fall. Kyle, you're with me in the fall, right? You're still here?
Yes. The reason I say that, the reason I ask why some classes are online is because as an art student, I don't have, like, none of the teachers have that option. We are online completely.
Really?
Yeah, they've called this semester online in like November or like late October.
What a shame.
Yeah, I pretty much have not left this desk for 6 months now.
I apologize to you, good sir.
It's not your fault.
Listen, we're gonna get there day by day.
Yeah.
Kyle, you got to start wearing that double and maybe triple and maybe quadruple masks. I don't know.
I don't have that many.
You got to come to the university. We got plenty of these masks and they're free. But anyway, so yeah, we got that snowstorm coming. We're all sick of the snow. We're all sick of the weather, and we're praying for bathing suit season pretty soon. However, I gotta get a little bit more into shape. I definitely got hibernation body this year. That's definitely been a case in 2020/21. But we will be right back here on the Morning Buzz with more news and stories and some hot takes. We'll be right back.
Every child deserves a quality education. That's why NJEA members, teachers, and educational support professionals are proud to partner with parents to provide students with the support they need to be successful in school and in life. When families and schools work together, our children are the winners. Go to njea.org to learn more about the great things happening in New Jersey's public schools.
This message sponsored by the New Jersey Education Association, the New Jersey Broadcasters Association, and
Top 10 single was
cyber attacks, nuclear war, security dilemmas. It's the stuff of the biggest blockbusters Hollywood has to offer. But it's also the stuff of the minor in global security and diplomacy here as part of the political science department at Montclair State University. You don't have to be a political science major to sign up for the minor, though. We have students who are majoring in business, jurisprudence, computer programming, and so many other areas. You just have to be ready to expand your horizons and your worldview in order to deepen your understandings of your possibilities as a global citizen. The minor will foster your knowledge about the causes and dynamics of peace and security, the complexities of the 21st century security environment, the study of industrialized and emerging market societies, and so much more. The minor requires only 18 credits, which is 6 classes, 3 required and 3 electives in political science. Now, you may be asking yourself, what can I do with a minor in global security? You can go into the corporate world, foreign service, work for international organizations like the UN, think tanks, you could do nonprofits, you could do anything with this minor. This minor will help you maximize your employment opportunities in the fields of diplomacy, security, human rights, international law, trade policy, and so much more. If you have any questions, email Professor Toro Carnivali at the Political Science and Law Department. You can drop by his office in Dixon 204, or you can get more information by checking out the political science page on www.montclair.edu.
Monday, the one you've all been waiting for, the biggest debate in all of hockey. In one corner, it's Tommy Vivara, and in the other corner is Peter Fivefoot. The referee for this contest is Campbell Donovan. All the breaking news, stats, and rumors, as well as trades from the NHL to college, adding international play too. All right, boys, let's talk about some hockey. Tune in to Deeks and Dangles Mondays from 3 to 4 p.m. on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, the voice of Montclair State University.
Welcome back to the Morning Buzz here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, the voice of Montclair State. My name's Louis Biondelillo. This is
The Morning Buzz. Oh, I mean, I'm Kyle Pepitone.
Wow.
Sorry.
I set you up. I dribbled the ball down. Matt, I think you'll like this one.
I'm not a sports person. I dropped the ball.
I dribbled the ball down. I sent you a bounce pass.
And I missed it.
For the shot. It's the buzzer beater moment. 3, 2. Welcome to the Morning Buzz, he says. Hi, Kyle. How are you? After I just dissed you on air, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Hey, listen. At least that we're not recording this or we're putting it on Facebook Live or anything like that.
I've got my own show. I got a YouTube channel. I got Twitch. I make a fool of myself all the time for people.
Listen, that's fair. And that was a shameless plug. If you don't already know, you can listen to us many different ways. Of course, you can listen to us the audio version, as always, by tuning into 90.3 FM if you're close to the campus. You can go to WMSCradio.com. You could use the iHeartRadio app, or you could use your personal assistant, either your Google Home, Amazon Alexa, Facebook, whatever her name is. And you could say, okay, device, listen to WMSC on iHeartRadio, and it'll do it. Every personal system but Siri, so that's cool. And of course, if you would like to see us visually on the Morning Buzz every morning from 8 to 9, Monday through Friday, you could catch us on Facebook Live every morning. So that's nice. That's cool. Well, not us. It's not always Kyle, Patrina, Matt, myself. It's actually usually the hosts are a little bit more good looking, right, Kyle? The two of us. Listen, I think we bring down the average. But listen,
I just put the average at 0.
Oh no! Listen, we both have beautiful faces for radio. That's all I gotta say. I'm glad Kyle. For those of you listening, I didn't tell that joke to Kyle beforehand, so I'm glad he thought it was funny as well.
It took me a while to process what you said, but I got it.
All right, let's go into our next story. And it's not really a story. It's more of a hypothetical question that a lot of people have been asking, which is not so hypothetical anymore. Is it safe to visit grandma after getting the COVID vaccine? So that's the question posed by NBC, and they asked a bunch of people, and here's what they found. So first of all, more than 37 million Americans, as we said already, have been given their first dose of the vaccine, with 13 million fully vaccinated getting their second dose as well. Because of this, people are asking, can we go back to normal as soon as possible? Dr. Fauci says that if everyone at a gathering has been vaccinated, he believes that it would not be unsafe. So immunity bubbles is a new term that some have started to create amongst themselves. Despite all of this immunity bubble stuff, Dr. Fauci recommends that we do wait until the overwhelming majority, this is a quote, of people have their vaccinations in order to ensure the lack of spreading the virus, because it is unknown at this time if those vaccinated could actually still carry the virus.
Right.
Which makes sense. And it's interesting right now that so many people are asking, well, can we start forming vaccination bubbles? That's a term I never thought I'd hear, but that goes along with the entire pandemic.
Yeah.
But it makes sense that people started asking that. Basically,
totally.
The short answer, Dr. Fauci said yes, but no, don't do that. That's pretty much what Dr. Fauci said. He said technically, if it was just, say you formed a full community, a gated community, and only put vaccinated people in that community, I'm paraphrasing here, I'm making an example.
Right.
He believes that would be safe. However, the problem is once you step foot out of that community, once you step foot out of that gathering, we're unsure if you could still carry the virus to another individual. So you could be harming other people, even though we know that you are much more safe personally.
I feel like, but I feel like that's been like a concern from the beginning. Like, even if you test negative, you could still have it on you to give to somebody. So I feel like although the vaccine is coming out and people are asking to get back to normal, it's really not like a new threat, like not knowing if you have it on you. I think that's been something we've seen from the very beginning, a concern that a lot of people have had. So it's not like, okay, yes, pro here, but now this con. It's like pro, but this con still exists, which has existed before, only to a slightly lesser degree, maybe.
That was the best way you could have possibly described it, by the way. Like, I was confused where you were going, but I completely understand what you're saying now. Like, the threat's always been there. It's been there for almost a year now.
Right.
Well, it's been there for more than a year. It's just we've only known about it for a little less than a year. But I'm really happy that there's really no bad news from the vaccine.
Right.
It's the one thing that's kind of keeping me going. Personally, I don't mind sharing this on air. I'm happy about it. I have had the opportunity to actually register for my first dose of the vaccine in March. I'm driving all the way down to Atlantic City, baby. I'm not 21, so I can't gamble, and I can't do anything else at Atlantic City. But I could go get my big shot, and that's what I'm going to Atlantic City for. So one thing that I do want to say about the vaccines and everything, we know that President Biden just announced recently that we have purchased enough vaccines for every American that wants it, and will have all of those doses by June or July. But if you are one of those eligible individuals like myself, that the state of New Jersey says that you can get vaccinated right now, it doesn't mean you will get vaccinated right now. There's
Right.
a big shortage. That's like a jumbo shrimp. That's an oxymoron. There is a big, huge shortage of doses right now. And quite frankly, as somebody who's gone through the system now of trying to secure a spot, it's unfair. It's completely unfair. The system is actually, and I'm not usually a person that says this, this system to get the vaccine is completely rigged against you. It just feels like you're fighting an uphill battle. Because what happens with most of these places, and I want to inform the people, because I want you to understand what you're going to go through for this. What happened to me was I followed this Twitter account, Vax Updates or something like that, and I put the push notifications on. And it's a Twitter account that every time any individual site opens more spots, they put the link and they say, go, 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 do it now before they fill up. So I had that, and I had the push notifications on, and every day, at least twice a day, I tried to get the vaccine, and this went on for about a month. Every single day did I try to get this vaccine. And every single day you go into the queue 5 minutes before it opens, and what it does, it randomly selects you a number. It's not first come, first serve. So say they have 10,000 doses of a vaccine to give out on this particular day.
Right.
I was getting number 25,000, number 40,000. Like, there was an excessive amount of, like, 10 times the amount of people were trying to get it than the doses that they had.
Right.
So it literally, it's the luck of the draw. Like, there's nothing else, about
That seems odd.
And the second problem is each site has its own login. So you have to remember all of these usernames and passwords that you're trying to get a vaccine with, because you have to register first. And this is not in an effort to persuade anybody not to go through the process. Don't get me wrong. I feel amazing now. Like, now that I got it, it's like winning a video game. It feels so good. But there's no reason that anybody should have to do that right now. In my humblest of opinion, what it should do, you register to the state of New Jersey, and then they give you a number based on how many people are before you. First come, first serve.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense in this situation.
When they have your dose number, they email you, or they call you, or they come knocking at your door. Whatever works.
What a novel idea.
Like, I don't understand. I don't understand at all what New Jersey thinks that they're doing with this. I've supported the governor throughout a lot of this pandemic. I really, really have. But the vaccine rollout, it was a mistake not to have one service. Like, it was a huge, huge mistake. And I get that having one website would also present a new problem, because, well, if that many people are trying to get on at once, that's going to be a problem. The site might crash. I understand that. Figure out the problem. You're literally the state of New Jersey.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Listen, if I can make functioning websites and videos, the state of New Jersey can make one functioning website. That's all I got there. So that's where we stand with the COVID vaccine. And I encourage anybody who is trying to get it, don't quit with this. It's very frustrating at first. But we all know that if you want the vaccine, you really want the vaccine at this point. So you could keep trying for that. And I wish everyone that's trying good luck. And I hope that these new doses come really fast. Like we said, June or July, Joe Biden, expects everyone to have the opportunity to get both of their doses. So that's fantastic news. It's for the first time, in my opinion, hearing a date that when this could theoretically actually be over. Before this, obviously we heard at the beginning 15 days to slow the spread. We're in day 400 of that at this point.
Yeah.
But this is the first time that I'm hearing a light at the end of the tunnel. So positive news. I'm excited for it. I would love if everyone could get vaccinated, but we can't tell you to get vaccinated on air. But just know that if I could, I would.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's where we stand on that. And I think since we're getting close to the end of a show, I think we need to talk about some good news. What do you think, Kyle?
I'm all in favor for good news.
Good news? Right in the chat there. Do you want to read that story up for us?
Let me pull it up. I see Chick-fil-A, so I'm already happy.
Oh, we love chicken. Eat more chicken. I love chicken. I really
might have an unhealthy obsession with chicken, but we'll get to that later.
With chicken.
So the story is a Wisconsin Chick-fil-A worker who won a car in a company raffle gives it to a coworker who usually bikes to work.
Aww.
So she said she only worked at the restaurant for 5 months, yet her coworker had become a second family for the 17-year-old, which is the one who won the car, I believe. And when Haley Bridges won a new car in the Christmas raffle organized for Appleton, Wisconsin Chick-fil-A employees, she knew just what to do with it. She gave away the car to her new sister who had been cycling to work in frigid Wisconsin weather. Yep. Okay.
No,
you want to help me with this name here?
No, this is all you.
All right.
What we're gonna do? We're just gonna say the 19-year-old because we don't want to butcher somebody's name.
Yeah.
And that's how we're gonna do it.
All right. So, the 19-year-old from Honolulu was commuting to the Grand Chute restaurant using only 2 wheels, i.e., the bicycle. This is a quote from her. "I was biking here every morning, so it was a little rough," the 19-year-old told WLUK News. Because I'm from Hawaii, I was like, it's kind of cold. I think might be a bit of an understatement.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. At the Christmas party, when the name of the winner was plucked out of the bag, and the 19-year-old heard Haley Bridges, she knew what was going to happen. Haley had vowed to hand the car over if she won. I really just started crying because I was so happy, the 19-year-old said. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is real. Now I can go grocery shopping, and she also can leave 5 minutes before her shift starts instead of spending 2 hours pedaling.
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's super duper cute. We've heard bad stories about Chick-fil-A before, but I would always say that their employees are such kind people.
Right.
The employees themselves. And it does look like that the people that work at Chick-fil-A enjoy working at Chick-fil-A. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to a Chick-fil-A and seen an employee that's like, I don't want to be here, but I've never seen that.
No, I have not either. But I've also haven't been inside of a Chick-fil-A to interact with the people in quite a while. So
that is fair. But from the times that I have and from the car interactions I've had since the pandemic, I could definitely say Chick-fil-A workers themselves are some of the best individuals. They always put a smile on my face, and it looks like they're also putting smiles on other people's faces. You know, Kyle, if I won a car, if WMSC was doing something, Kyle, you know what I would do with that car?
I have an idea, but I don't know.
I would drive that car so much, Kyle, not give it to you at all.
No, I wouldn't expect you to.
And that's why I don't work at Chick-fil-A, because I'm not nice enough for. You know what? Let's have a poll for a second, Kyle. Let's be honest here. Would you give me the car?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's kind of rough because I don't go anywhere anymore. So I really, at this point in time, have no need for a car. And if I, fingers crossed, get back on campus next year, I didn't leave campus my first year, and I'm probably not going to leave it my third year. So I really don't need a car yet. So it's a possibility I would give it away.
Okay, fair. Patrina,
Yeah,
You just
no.
congratulations.
not.
You just won a car. Are you giving me the car?
Probably not, you know. I mean not that I mean I have a car now, but you know what? Like I could always use another car. I won't lie.
What's fair is
Give
fair,
it to a
Patrina.
family member, you know.
Listen, Patrina,
mean-
I enjoy our Monday mornings together, but I also would not give you the car. So I think we're on the same page about this, that only Kyle out of the three of us should work ever at Chick-fil-A. If there's any one of us that has the opportunity to do so, I know, Kyle, you probably don't want to work at Chick-fil-A, but you're the only one that would actually be hired by Chick-fil-A. So congratulations. That's a gold standard in my personal opinion.
Thank you. It means a lot.
Well, as we do wrap up our show here on the Morning Buzz, weekdays 8 to 9, I just want to thank everyone for all the hard work that they put into the show. Kyle, you're the best, obviously. I wouldn't give you a car, but I will give you my congratulations. The best uh, person to be a co-host with ever, Kyle. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Patrina, thanks for everything that you do as well. Matt, you as well. I'd like to give a shout out to our producer, Amanda, to Mark Zuckerberg for allowing us to go on Facebook Live. And of course, as always, for Rocky the Red Hawk for doing what he does best. Well, I wish everybody the best week 2 of a semester ever. Good luck. And may the odds be ever in your favor. And I think that's how we close out the show. I've been Louis Beyond Lillo.
I am Kyle Pepitone, not the Morning Buzz.
I'm Patrina Geiger.
I'm Matt Bruchet.
And this has been the Monday edition of the Morning Buzz. Don't forget, we have programming every single day. There's live programming every single weekday. We got that Morning Buzz 8 to 9. You can tune in for that. For now, we will see you real soon.